Most traders use the RSI wrong and lose money. This strategy with 3 special settings can help you make money instead. Today, I'm showing you my best RSI setup and exact TradingView settings you need to know. Alright, so right now we are in TradingView and we are looking here at Bitcoin, as you can see up here, and we are on the 4-hour time frame, which means that every candlesticks on this chart represents 4 hours. But the RSI indicator can be used on pretty much all time frames. You can use it on the 4-hour, 1 hour, 15-minute, even 5-minute, and so on and so on. And I can also just mention that most of the indicators I will use in this course are completely for free. However, for some indicators, you will need TradingView Premium. But don't worry, because I do have a special link. You can use this link to try out TradingView Premium for free for 30 days. And then if you later on after the trial decide that you want to upgrade and stay with Premium if you really like it, you will get a $15 bonus. But as I said, don't worry, for most indicators you can follow along on the free plan as well. And the RSI is one example of a free indicator. So let's begin here by taking a look at how to open up the RSI. To open up this RSI, you want to navigate up here to the Indicators tab in TradingView, and then you simply type in RSI. And now you can see that multiple RSI indicators appears here on the chart. We have one called RSI Divergence. Remember, Divergence is one of my favorite indicators, but you can see that we have some indicators under technicals here, and then we also have lots of indicators under community. And all of these indicators are different versions of the RSI that is created by the TradingView community. So it can, for example, be RSI indicators with slightly different settings. Remember, I will soon show you guys how you can change the settings of the RSI to potentially improve it. But you have tons of different RSI indicators to play around with. As I said, I think most of them are free, but some you need TradingView Premium. But for now, let's just open up the normal relative strength index indicator. And just like that, you can see that the RSI indicator appears here at the bottom of our screen. And as we learned earlier, you can see that we have values marked right here. This is the 70 line. And when the RSI is above 70, we say that the RSI is overbought. And when the RSI is below this 30 line, we say that the RSI is oversold. So, for example, as you know, the RSI measures momentum. So if you look, for example, here, you can see that we have extreme high values on the RSI. You can see right here, the RSI is above 80, which means that it's very overbought. And you can see that when the RSI is very overbought, this will mean that we have lots of momentum in the market. So you can see right here, when we see strong overbought conditions, this means that we have strong momentum. And remember here, momentum is basically the speed and the strength of price movements. So when you see lots of speed and strength in the market, you will have high values. But when the market is very calm, like right here, you will have very values close to 50. And let's just quickly take a look at an example in the opposite direction. When we see strong moves to the downside, like right here, we will see very low values on the RSI. But now I want to talk about one of my favorite use cases of the RSI indicator, and that is something called RSI Divergence. So RSI Div for short. And what we're looking out for, and when we're looking out for RSI Divergence, is that we're looking out for the price going in one direction and the indicator going in the other direction. So I want you all to focus on this high right here. You can see that we have one high right here, then we have a higher high. And if you look at the RSI, you can see that we have one high right here, and then we have a higher high. So in this case, the RSI and the price goes in this in the same direction. But if we look at the other high right here, you can see now the price prints yet another high, but the RSI prints a lower high. This right here is an example of an RSI divergence and indicates a reversal to the downside. This is what is known as a bearish divergence. Very important to be able to spot. And now, once again, if you look at the price right here, you can see that the price goes in one direction. We're printing consecutive lower lows. But if you look at RSI, you can see that the RSI prints consecutive higher lows. This is the opposite of what we just recently talked about. This right here is what is known as a bullish divergence and indicates a reversal to the upside. Yet again, if we look a bit to the right here and look closely, we can see that the price once again prints, higher highs, right? While the RSI goes in the opposite direction. This right here is a bearish divergence, and we can see that recently the price have been seeing a move towards the downside for Bitcoin. But alright, so now then, what are the best RSI settings? How can we change the settings of the RSI to potentially improve it, and as a result make more money? Well, for this part, I have actually changed the time frame to the 15 minutes. Remember, you can use the RSI on pretty much any time frame. But here, to change the settings of the RSI, we do want to go down here to where it says settings, and you press right here. And the first thing I do want to mention here that now I'm going to show you some of my favorite settings. But when it comes to settings and when it comes to what RSI indicator people use, remember when we look here in the indicators tab and search for RSI, you have tons of different RSI, RSI versions. You have tons of different settings. So all traders will, prefer slightly different settings. But now I'm gonna show you guys, some of my favorite settings. And the first thing I do want to do is that I actually want to go to the style tab here and uncheck the RSI based moving average. The RSI based moving average show you a line here, a yellow line, which is the average of the RSI. And I do think the standard setting here is that the length here is 14. But I do want to uncheck this one. I also like to uncheck the background fill here to see it more clearly. And I tend to, use a black RSI. I think it's super clear. So I changed the aesthetics to something like this, but you don't have to do this. But now you want to go to the inputs tab. And when we are on a shorter term time frame, like for example the 15, one thing you can do is that you can actually change the length of the RSI. You can see the standard setting is that the RSI uses 14 in length. That means that the RSI uses 14 candles to make its calculations. But in order to have a much quicker and much more responsive RSI, you can change this value to around 7 to 10. And to show you guys clearly, let's change to 7 right here. And what I'm also gonna do is that I'm actually gonna go to style once again here, and I'm gonna change the upper band here to 80, and I'm gonna change the lower band here to 20, because now the RSI will focus on the very extreme values. So now in order to have overbought or oversold, the momentum has to be very extreme. Another setting you can use is this one right here where it says calculating divergences. But when you check this one in, you will see multiple divergences appearing on the chart. You can, for example, see that we have bull divergences here and bear divergences here. But one problem with this setting is that you will get many false signals. So I highly recommend to learn about divergences on your own, definitely before you start using that setting. So I'm actually good for now, and I'm gonna press OK. So here, one thing, as I said, that I like to look out for are divergences, and especially divergences when we see the price, when we see the RSI either dipping below 20 or above 80. So for example, right here we have a super clear divergence. You see the price prints one low and then a lower low. You can see the RSI prints one low and then a higher low. And we even had the very bearish momentum here below 20, right? Same thing true right here. We have a high and a higher high. You can see the RSI is in this case above 80. And then we see this divergence from this high to this high. So this right here is a bearish divergence. This right here is a bullish divergence. But here, and this is very important, in order to use indicators effectively, it's important to not rely on the indicators on their own. You need to combine them with other things like price action, like market structure. So when you have the time, I highly recommend to check out this course right here. This is my full course on price action, and it will make you guys so much more effective in using the RSI indicator. Alright, so the next indicator we're gonna take a look at is... Alright, so this video was actually just a very short clip from our full TradingView indicators course right here on YouTube. To watch the full course, simply click or tap on the screen right here. I hope I'll see you all over there very soon.